Hello, my name is Eliza Meth, and I'm going to be going over an overview of ergogenic aids and beta alanine. So I'll be assessing the efficacy of beta alanine on sports performance through a exercise physiology point of view. So an overview of the presentation will be first an introduction to ergogenic aids, then an introduction to beta alanine, an overview of muscle carnosine and athletic performance. Then who would use it is in what sports or athletes, going over a review of studies next, and then results by types of exercise and a quick wrap up. So first, to start with an introduction to ergogenic aids. They are substances or techniques used to enhance performance. They've been classified as nutritional, pharmacological, physiological, and range from use of accepted techniques such as carbohydrate loading to illegal and unsafe approaches such as anabolic and androgenic steroid use. Some examples would be caffeine, beta alanine, or sports psychology techniques. The use of ergogenic aids is poorly understood by many professionals in mainstream sports science, particularly sports medicine. According to researchers, many team physicians and sports practitioners are unfamiliar with the benefits and risks of these products and thus are unable to educate young athletes on this topic. Finally, from Simon Martin, an editor of IHCAN magazine, practitioners looking to supply evidence-based advice to people who want to improve performance have a different problem. That is, sports science is way behind what coaches and athletes are actually doing. So usually, studies take a while, so they are behind what is the new ergogenic aid in sports. Thus, that's why studies are behind. So this image is the components that contribute to the nature of sports according to Paul Aaron, who was highlighted in that article from IHCA magazine. And ergogenic aids can enhance any of these aspects. Beta alanine is a nutritional ergogenic aid, and the focus of this presentation will be how it improves performance in athletics. So an introduction to beta alanine, which usually comes in the form of a capsule or pill. It is a non-essential amino acid, and what we went over amino acid in class, amino acids are building blocks of protein, and non-essential acids can be synthesized by the human body and are commonly called non-essential as they do not need to be consumed in your diet. Carnosine is a compound that plays a role in muscle endurance and high-intensity exercise. Beta alanine is usually procured from fish, meat, and poultry. Beta alanine is different from other amino acids because it doesn't build proteins directly. Instead, it's a building block for carnosine, which is important for buffering acids in muscles, which we'll go over a little later. So muscle carnosine and athletic performance. Carnosine acts as a pH buffer, which we went over in our class. High-intensity exercise causes an increase in acetate and hydrogen ion concentration in the blood, which ultimately causes a drop in pH. Carnosine regulates that acid buildup in muscle cells to aid in the decrease of muscle fatigue. So beta alanine, once again, is thought to boost the production of carnosine. It also enhances anaerobic and aerobic performance, which I'll go over a little bit more in depth later. And higher muscle carnosine should improve exercise tolerance, not muscle gain. So I'll go into the specifics of what sports beta alanine will be helping to improve and what sports it won't be as efficient for. So going over the athletes who would use beta alanine, who are looking for enhancing that in their sport, we mainly sprinters, rowers, wrestlers, CrossFit athletes, anyone who is partaking in short, repeated bouts of effort in their sport. So soccer, hockey, football, you're running towards the ball, you're running for a play, and then you stop. That would be a short bout of effort. 400, 800-meter runners, and high-intensity interval training athletes. So pictured is Gretchen Walsh, a swimmer who holds the world record for the 100-meter butterfly and many other world records. So she is taking in about a minute of exercise and would benefit from beta alanine. So for review of studies, the results were not immediate. It was often weeks before athletes would see results. So there were about a month to 12-month long studies. The supplementation was about 4 to 6 grams per day for 4 weeks, which was found to increase muscle carnosine by 40 to 60% and up to 80% after 10 weeks. For supplementation, no major long-term effects were known. The only common side effect is paresthesia, which is tingling or itching and can be minimized with smaller doses or sustained release formulations. So that is usually what most athletes say they find in taking beta-alanine is feeling itchy or crawling skin. So a continuation of this review of studies, this general review of studies, it was most effective for high intensity exercise lasting between 1 and 4 minutes, which would be rowing, 400, 800 meter runs, wrestling, swimming under a 200 meter or 400 meter swim. So it'd be less beneficial for ultra short, which would be less than 60-second sprints, and unclear for the benefits of endurance events, which would be over 25 minutes. So I'm a swimmer, so I would say it would not be beneficial for sprinters who partake in the 50 freestyle, or it's hard to say for the 100. That's kind of on the line there, but anything over 100, any athletes partaking over 100-meter freestyle, butterfly, backstroke, breaststroke, any of those events would benefit from taking beta-alanine. And also was found to possibly reduce neuromuscular fatigue and executive functioning, especially in older adults. So there was up to a 37% increase in fatigue threshold found in the elderly. And once again, neuromuscular fatigue is when your muscles and nervous system become less able to generate or maintain force during exercise. Your brain sends weaker signals to the muscles, and your muscles themselves get less responsive or slower to contract. So beta-alanine helps reduce that neuromuscular fatigue because it buffers acid buildup in muscles, which lets your muscles stay stronger for longer before shutting down from fatigue. So there was also an effect found in executive functioning post-endurance exercise. Through a 2018 study which indicated that 28 days of beta-alanine supplementation which was given to people in the elderly range were given 2.4 grams per day of beta-alanine, and that improved endurance exercise capacity and eliminated declines in executive functioning seen after recovery in older adults. So there's once again another specific study that used beta-alanine, and it was found to improve 10K running times in physically active adults. This was a randomized double-blind study which investigated whether 23 days of beta-alanine supplementation could improve 10K running performance and lactate levels in physically active men. 16 participants were split into two groups. One received 5 grams a day of beta-alanine and plus 1 resistant starch, and the other received 6 grams per day of resistant starch, which was the placebo. Both groups followed the same running program over the intervention period. For performance, the beta-alanine group significantly improved their 10K run times with an average decrease of about 3.9 minutes, while the placebo group did not. Beta-alanine group had reduced blood lactate levels after the 10K run, while lactate increased in the placebo group. Moderate improvements were seen for both performance and lactate reduction in the beta-alanine group. So by types of exercise, being aerobic or anaerobic or isometric or isotonic exercises, I'll go over that now. So aerobic being oxidative and anaerobic being non-oxidative exercises. For the anaerobic, there was the best improvement seen in tasks lasting between 1 to 4 minutes. Once again, that aerobic was found to have modest improvement in the time to exhaustion for activities up to 25 minutes, but little to no effects were found beyond that threshold. For strength training, there were mixed results, but it may improve training volume and reduce fatigue, but there was no strong evidence for boosting max strength. So some specific studies by type of exercise. 2018 study observed that 4 weeks of beta-alanine supplementation improved isometric but not isotonic or isokinetic muscle endurance in recreationally active men. And on supermaximal cycling training, which supermaximal would be pushing muscle contractions past typical maximal effort. So there's a 2016 study that demonstrated that beta-alanine supplementation significantly extended supermaximal cycling time to exhaustion and may have provided a worthwhile improvement to 4K time trial performance in cycling. So for a quick wrap up, beta-alanine is not a miracle worker. However, small performances always can lead to big competitive changes, so it would be not fair to say that it has little to no effects. It's very specific, exercise or sport specific, so you have to make sure if you're taking beta-alanine, you fall into that group that a proven efficacy has been found. So once again, those anaerobic tasks last between 1 and 4 minutes, nothing under 1 minute, over 25 minutes, sports like swimming, cycling, running, 400 to 800 meter, sports like soccer, football, anything with short bouts of exercise or movements. That's what you will find the highest efficacy rates. So that's what, if you are any of those athletes that fall into those categories, that's where you should be looking. If you are looking to take beta-alanine, it is best for high intensity, short to mid duration sports, and it also has been found to be safe and effective for many athletes. So beta-alanine is in the category of NCAA approved ergogenic aids. So it is safe and effective for many athletes. So here are just my citations I used. Thank you